What's up, family? Please let me know if you can hear me. We are live. The result is out, guys. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. I'm still trying to fix the sound. Bionano Genomics. BNGO. What's going on, everyone? Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know, please. Oh, good. Great. So the result is out. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We have the result of Bionano Genomics. I mean, I'm trying to still find a better source to share with you guys, but right now I only have this post from Cisco Investor, and the stock price is, rising after the report. Of course, it's not yet available on Yahoo Finance, so we still have to wait a little bit for the. I'm still trying to check on Bionano Genomics website as well. I cannot find it. Yeah, this is awesome, guys. This is awesome. I mean, I'm not really in shock, this is more or less what I have been expecting, I've been expecting Bionano Genomics to report about at least $4 million or above. So they reported $4.7 million in total revenue, 112% year-over-year total revenue increase. That is what matters. You guys know that Bionano Genomics is not yet a profitable company, so this is awesome. We just have to all we need to keep hearing from BNGO is year-over-year revenue increment. Okay, over 53%. That is the target. So anything above 53%, in my opinion, is more than awesome. So here I am, guys. I'm live, baby. It's been a while since I used this mic. I am still trying. Welcome, everybody. What's up, Lanve? Jamel, good evening. Daniel, Adam, good evening. Dogus Ali, good evening. Good evening, everybody. We are live. It's been a while since I tried this live streaming, so I still need to gain my confidence. It's going to take a little while. I am still looking for the news. I can't seem to find it. So now that I am live, let me just take my time and Bionano Genomics thought earnings. So I'm still looking for the news. 8 minutes ago. Okay, I have it 8 minutes ago. So this is it, guys. This is it. So Bionano Genomics reports third quarter 2021 financial results, guys. This is it. So let me take a look at it. Okay. Acquisition of Biodiscovery, of course, we already know that. Total revenue 4.7 million US dollars, 100 and I hope this is big enough. Maybe let me just make it bigger than this so that you guys can, see it clearly. Okay, I'll try to increase my screen size. I mean, the zoom. Okay. Okay, so it's good like this. Okay, good. So Bionano Genomics reported 4.7 million US dollars, a 112% year-over-year. Okay, this is awesome, guys. This is awesome. I shared something on Twitter yesterday. Let me quickly show you guys. I shared something on Twitter yesterday that, according to analysts, let me look for it. Yeah, look at this, guys. So I shared this on Twitter yesterday. According to analysts, the annual earnings growth is 31.3%. Okay, and Forecast annual revenue growth is 56.8%. So anything above this, above 56.8%, is awesome. Okay, anything above 56.8% is awesome, guys. So now let's close this and go back to the earnings page. So they reported 112% year-over-year total revenue increase. Of course, this is not annually, this is quarter. So this is still a very good news, Record number of Sapphire shipment and installation for any quarter to date. Wow. So they have record number of Sapphire shipments. This is awesome. The stock price after hours is presently at $5.97 right now. So you guys know. So remaining 2021 milestones on track. Launched protocol for ultra molecular weight DNA isolation from amniocentesis and chronic villus sampling (CVS) for prenatal applications. Okay, I don't know about that, guys. I need to dig into this one. I have no idea what that means. So it continues. Strong balance sheet with $326.1 million in cash. This is awesome. $326.1 million in cash is awesome. We still have enough money even after the acquisition of biodiscovery. I don't know if they have already priced in biodiscovery into this money, because I think we had about $370 million or something like that before the quarter. We will see. We are still going to have the earnings call where they are going to be telling us, give us more details. And of course, I'm still gonna go back, to my draw board, go through all these numbers once again, and share more information with you guys, of course. So key business highlights into Q3: expanded the Sapphire install base from 121 to 141. Oh my god. Woo! Oh my god, guys, look at that. Holy oh. So they installed 24 Sapphire systems in the third quarter alone, compared to 11 systems shipped in the same quarter. Oh my god, guys, Bionano Genomics have a target of 150 Sapphire devices till the end of this year. 150. And if they manage to install 24 Sapphire systems in the third quarter alone, that means we have just 9 Sapphire systems to install left, okay, to meet the analyst target. We have just 9 Sapphire devices left to install in the fourth quarter. And if they install 24 in the third quarter, this is mind-blowing. This is beautiful, guys. Oh my god. Okay, so it continues. Sold 3,969 nano channel array flow cells during the quarter ended September, which is the most flow cells sold in any quarter ever, and present 122% growth over the same quarter in 2020. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, another record. Okay, during the second quarter, they broke record with the numbers of flow nano channel array flow cells that they sold during the second quarter, and now they have broken it once again. 122% growth over the same quarter in 2020. This is awesome, guys. I mean, I don't know how much. The most important thing you guys have to the most important thing that we need to check is, first of all, the revenue increase, which of course is 112% year over year. Then the number of Sapphire devices, 24 Sapphire devices, and of course the number of nano channel array flow cells, which of course is another record. So that is all we need to we need to see from this report. Now we just need to focus on the expenses, how much they have managed to spend, okay, during the third quarter. You guys know that we employed a lot of new heads, okay, a lot of new members joined us, this chief business officer, the chief commercial officer, and so on and so forth. So you should expect the expenses to be a little bit higher. So let's continue. Sapphire customers in Bionano conduct 10 presentations. Okay, NuProbe Global, a global molecular diagnostic leader, adopted Sapphire to be integrated in their. Okay, I need to go through this one once again. Okay, this NuProbe. I want to see the the size of NuProbe Global and the impact. How many Sapphire devices we can already predict that they are going to be adopting as time goes on. So I'm still going to go into this later. Sapphire customers and Bionano conducted 10 presentations at the annual Cancer Genetic Consortium meeting in mid-August. Okay, we knew about that. Bionano customer presented 11 presentations on OGM at the European Society of Human Genetics. We also know about that. Added exceptional talent across commercial leadership functions. Of course, Amanda Letman as Vice President of Global Customer Experience. We already know about all this. They even made they dropped a press release, I think yesterday, about this, about Amanda and Alex. Then they brought in, also Stephanie Hoyle. Yeah, they made a post about this. Also, Amanda Hernandez, also. And then Justin Layton as Vice President and General Manager, Lineage, and Bob Hetzenberg as North America Sales Director. Okay, so financial highlights. Total revenue, 4.7 million US dollars, up 21% from 3.9 million users in the second quarter. So this is beautiful, guys. We are up 21% from the second quarter. Okay, I mean, I don't know, this is beautiful. And up 112%, of course, from 2.2 million US dollars in the same period of 2020. Okay, this is also beautiful. I'm going to use another color. Gross margin for the third quarter of 2021 was 24.8% compared to 37.3% in the prior quarter and 33.4% from this is also good. Third quarter operating expenses. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know what streak Bionano Genomics is performing, guys. I don't know what they are performing, because we acquired a company for, it's going to cost us about 100 million US dollars, right? And then for the third quarter, I was expecting them to go crazy with the expenses, but 21.8 million US dollars. I mean, are you guys reading this? Are you listening? Compared to 17.9 million US dollars in the prior quarter and 11 million US dollars in the third. You guys know that we have Christopher Stewart. He is our chief financial officer, and this guy used to work at Tesla, okay, before he came over. And this guy, in my opinion, has been doing a wonderful job, okay, because Bionano Genomics is not yet a profitable company. I mean, we have to dilute some. We diluted shares in January. Okay, we raised 300 and something million US dollars in January, like 2 times. And then this guy is still able to manage this money somehow miraculously. I mean, kudos to Mr. Christopher Stewart. I mean, I was expecting BNGO to have gone crazy with spending money. So it means the cash that we have right now, I don't know. I mean, this is shocking, guys. Where is the cash at hand? Where is it? The cash we have at hand. Okay, I've lost it somewhere. I've lost it somewhere. I read it somewhere. So let's continue, guys. 21.8 million US dollars operating expense for the third quarter of 2021. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. So at September 30th, 2021, the company had cash equivalent, okay, and short-term investment of 326.1 million US dollars as at September 30th. Oh my god. Compared to cash and cash equivalent of 38.4 million US dollars at December. Guys, back in December 2020, Bionano Genomics used to have just 38.4 million US dollars in cash. 38.4 compared to 326.1 million US dollars. I mean, when I discovered this company on the 20th, 21st, 20th of December, just before Christmas, this is how much they used to have, okay? And I mean, since then, they have gone, it's been a crazy ride since then. You guys can see how much they have right now. And of course, if the stock price, in my opinion, goes back to the all-time high of 15 US dollars. Of course, the CEO already told us that they don't plan to raise money anymore. I mean, maybe towards the end of this year, I don't know. He said they don't plan to raise money further to dilute shares, okay? But in my opinion, if that stock price goes back to around 15 US dollars, there is a possibility they are going to try to raise money, okay? So yeah, I have in 5 minutes the earnings call is going to be live. So let's check it out and see if they have started. I'm just going to refresh this page. I'm gonna refresh. So it's not yet live. I have the sound on. It's not yet live. So this is beautiful, guys. This is awesome. 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 I love what I'm reading. I absolutely love what I'm reading. Third quarter operating expense was 21.8 million US dollars. We still have 326.1 million US dollars in cash. Okay. I said it already, when Bionano Genomics dropped that news of acquiring Biodiscovery last week, I said it that in my opinion, they are not going to spend 100 million a strategic acquisition. They don't, nobody does that. Okay. I mean, they are very smart. I don't expect them to just throw 100 million US dollars, and just like that, if they have 326 million US dollars in cash. So this is strategic thing. They are going to give common stock of the company to Dr. Shams, our chief informatics officer. They are going to be giving him about 40 million or something. They are going to be giving some shares to them, and then we have 50 million dollars in cash to cover all their expenses, pay their bills, and so on and so forth. So this is just beautiful what I'm reading so far. And what's up, Nick V? What's up, Mark Smith? What's up, Rainbow? MOM. What's up, brother? What's up? What's going on? Good evening, guys. Adebayo Kende. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Oh, so we are up. Look at that, guys. BNGO is presently, trading around 6.4 US dollars. I mean, this is positive thing. We have to wait till tomorrow. We have to wait till, of course, during the earnings call, you guys should expect the price to, go up and down. Of course, once the CEO starts to speak, or once the chief business officer or the chief finance officer starts to speak, you guys should expect this price to go up and down, because we still need to hear from them. Analysts are still going to be calling them, asking them some question about the future of the company and so on and so forth, about more questions about the acquisition of Biodiscovery, for example, and how they plan to pay the 100 million US dollars, and so on. They are going to, so you guys should expect this price to still go up and down. But hopefully, Bionano Genomics CEO is super prepared. Hopefully, he is going to be smashing and answering all the questions. He is going to be, talking with confidence. He's going to, instill, let us know, give us more confidence, about the company. So hopefully everything is going to work out fine. And then the stock price, I don't expect us to see $5 anymore, guys. Before the market closed, I bought about 200 more shares of BNGO around this level. So I mean, in my opinion, I don't know why we are still trading at $6. Of course, the market is always right. You cannot do anything against the market. You just have to follow the market. So, but in my opinion, I don't expect us to even be at this level anymore. And once we get above 6-7 US dollars, it's going to be a very fast ride to 10 US dollars, because we have analyst consensus is around 12 US dollars. Okay, so it's going to be a very fast one. We have 1 minute left before the earnings call. I'm still listening. I'm following everything. If you go to the analyst consensus analysis, let me see if I can find the I'm trying to see if I can find the consensus on BNGO, but third quarter. Okay, so 25 minutes ago. So this is the main news from yeah, I hope they have more details about the numbers, because I am looking for the numbers. I don't seem to. Okay, so we have some numbers down here. I'm still gonna go through all these after the earnings calls, guys. So even though I am super tired, I will try to make one more video tonight and update you guys. So we have all the numbers right here. I'm still gonna go through everything: cash and cash equivalent, investment, and so on and so forth. Product revenue, we have it right here, 2021 on September 30th, 4.6 million US dollars total revenue, 1.1 days loss on debt, and so on and so forth. Okay, EPS. All right, so let me refresh the page and see if they are already live. Not yet, not yet, almost. Oh, okay. We are live, baby.
Good day and welcome to the Bionano Genomics third quarter 2021 earnings conference call. I'd like to turn the conference over to Amy Conrad from Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Michelle.
Oh,
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Bionano Genomics third quarter 2021 financial results conference call. Leading the call today is Dr. Erik Holmlin, CEO of Bionano. He is joined by Chris Stewart, CFO of Bionano, and Rich Shippey, CBO of Bionano. After market close today, Bionano issued a press release announcing its financial results for the third quarter of 2021. A copy of the release can be found on the Investor Relations page of the company's website. I would like to remind everyone that certain statements made during this conference call may be forward-looking, including statements about Bionano's strategic and commercialization plans, sales pipeline, anticipated benefits or improvements to the Sapphire system, anticipated milestones for 2021, and the advantages of the Sapphire system over current technologies, the anticipated benefits of the acquisition of BioDiscovery, our expectations regarding timing and content of study results, and anticipated benefits of these studies in driving adoption of the Sapphire system. Such forward-looking statements are based upon current expectations, and there can be no assurances that the results contemplated in these statements will be realized. Actual results may differ materially from such statements due to a number of factors and risks, some of which are identified in Bionano's press release and Bionano's reports filed with the SEC. These forward-looking statements are based on information available to Bionano today, and the company assumes no obligation to update statements as circumstances change. An audio recording and webcast replay for today's conference call will also be available online in the Investors section of the company's website. With that, I will turn the call over to Erik.
Thank you, Amy, and good afternoon, everyone. We're happy to be here with you today to recap what turned out to be a very busy and productive third quarter. We believe the momentum that is being driven here is tremendous as we head into this last quarter of 2021. To start off today's call, I want to have Rich Shippey review with you our recent acquisition of BioDiscovery. This was an important strategic transaction that allows us to accelerate the integration of optical genome mapping, or OGM, and next generation sequencing data with our optical genome mapping workflow. The addition of BioDiscovery is expected to advance our capabilities as a genomics data solutions provider by adding what is really a best-in-class analysis, interpretation, and visualization platform for reporting genomics data. As a result of the acquisition, we believe we become the first and only company to provide truly comprehensive genome analysis solutions that utilize optical genome mapping with our Sapphire system and the industry-leading platform agnostic software from BioDiscovery, which transforms Bionano from being the structural variation company into a broad genomics data solutions provider, and really opens up new opportunities for us. And so now I'll turn the call over to Rich, our Chief Business Officer, to review the BioDiscovery transaction. Rich?
Thanks, Erik, and good afternoon, everyone. With the acquisition of BioDiscovery, we are now able to accelerate our efforts to make OGM ubiquitous by simplifying the assessment of clinically relevant variants inside of genomics applications, reducing interpretation time per sample, and expanding our reach into the discovery and translational research markets, where the combination of next-generation sequencing and OGM can reveal more answers in genetic disease and cancer. And the key to making these big ideas successful stems from software, in particular the right software, acting as a critical interface to solve complex cytogenetics workflow problems. We plan to utilize BioDiscovery software to integrate OGM with NGS and microdata for broader applications, which we believe will accelerate the adoption of our Sapphire product. We expect the true beneficiaries to be the researchers and clinicians who should see improvements in their ability to get the answers they need in a seamless and reliable manner. In terms of the integration of the BioDiscovery business into Bionano, we are making great progress and officially closed the transaction. We expect the launch of a commercially available version of NX clinical software that users can visualize, interpret, annotate, and report all classes of structural variants, including absence of heterozygosity. The initial integration with our Sapphire platform is planned to launch in 2022. The full integration will be designed to support the evaluation of additional data types and potentially incorporate gene expression and methylation data, which we're really excited about. Now I'll turn the call back over to Eric to review the Q3 numbers. Eric?
Thanks, Rich. In the third quarter of 2021, we've continued to perform very well. And in fact, we recorded the best overall quarter ever in the history of the company. And so we're obviously very excited about that. And we think it's due to not only the amazing capabilities that we have with optical genome mapping and the amazing product, but the incredible effort that all of our teams have put into pushing us forward. So total revenue for the quarter was $4.7 million, which is up 112% versus the same period in 2020. We had great performance in many areas of execution, including seeing customers develop laboratory developed tests based on optical genome mapping and obtaining accreditation for Sapphire-based laboratory developed tests, as well as expanding our menu to include protocols for isolation of ultra-high molecular weight DNA from prenatal samples, such as amniocytes and CVS. And this allows us to apply optical genome mapping and our users to various applications in prenatal analysis. Now, we've continued to build out the commercial team, and I want to welcome these folks to Bionano, and we're very excited to have them on board because what we're doing is preparing to scale commercially. And I want to welcome on board Amanda Letman, who is the Vice President of Global Customer Experience, Amanda Hernandez, who is the Vice President of Global Sales Training and Development, Justin Layton, who is VP and General Manager of the Lineagen business, Bob Herzenberg, who is our North American Sales Director, and then announced just today, Stephanie Hoyle, who is our Vice President of Global Corporate Marketing, and Alex Helm, who is our Vice President of Strategic Product Marketing. And now these people come to us from amazing companies across multiple industries, and I think them choosing to join Bionano and the path that we are on reflects not only the progress that we've made, but the incredible opportunity that we have out in front of us. And we believe they will drive additional growth for our business as we expand across many geographic locations. And certainly, not last but not least, we want to welcome Sohail Shams, who is the new Chief Informatics Officer and previously was the Chief Executive Officer of BioDiscovery. And so we're really rounding out key people across the commercial and development areas of the organization, and that's going to be key to growth going forward. I want to talk a little bit about the Sapphire installed base and utilization. We had a record quarter for Sapphire system installations and shipments. Sapphire installations in the quarter brought the total installed base to 141 Sapphires installed as of September 30th, 2021. We shipped 24 Sapphire systems during the quarter. You can compare that to 11 systems that were shipped in the same period in 2020 and 13 systems that were shipped just last quarter. And we believe we're on track to reach our goal or even exceed the goal of 150 Sapphire systems installed worldwide by the end of 2021. We sold 3,969 nanochannel array flow cells during the third quarter. This is the highest number of flow cells that we've sold in any quarter ever. Now, please keep in mind that the flow cell is the unit consumable for one human genome. And so more flow cells that are being sold into the field leads to more utilization and more data to support the value proposition of optical genome mapping and increase awareness of its utility. So the 3,969 flow cells represents 122% growth over the same period, third quarter of 2020. Finally, in our services lab, we analyzed 309 samples during the quarter ending September 30th, 2021. And we can compare that to the same period a year ago, which was 84 samples. And so these numbers of samples that are coming in for analysis are often tied to projects that are happening in the field, either in connection with potentially a new Sapphire adoption, but certainly new customers coming to learn about optical genome mapping for the first time. So when we see growth in samples that are being analyzed, we know that that's going to turn into more awareness of optical genome mapping and its capability. And so that's an exciting leading indicator. Regarding innovation, we've continued to improve optical genome mapping with Sapphire, making it easier and faster and more cost-effective to operate. And so we hit a key goal for the quarter, which was to develop assays that could be used in prenatal applications that require isolation of ultra-high molecular weight DNA from amniocytes and CVS samples. These assays support both fresh cultures and cryopreserved cells. This expands the markets that we can serve for optical genome mapping. We updated our software, and we have incredible new capabilities that have been released recently that are going to expand capabilities of data analysis and data interpretation. And of course, we've added the biodiscovery and NX clinical and Nexus copy number capabilities to our offering. And our project to build a next generation Sapphire is also on track, and we anticipate completing the first prototype system for that platform by the end of this year. Regarding the proliferation of data that validate optical genome mapping and outline its incredible scope of utility, we announced the publication of the largest clinical research study to date which was published in the Journal of Molecular Diagnostics for a rare muscle disease, FSHD. In that study, 351 patients were analyzed, and we were very pleased to see the outcomes that the authors found. They demonstrated that optical genome mapping provided data more quickly, accurately, and more reproducibly than the current gold standard method of Southern blot. And so these findings really support the rationale for adopting optical genome mapping as an alternative to traditional methods, and also underscore the economic value of the more efficient workflow. We believe that that's going to support labs in the future that adopt it and seek reimbursement from third-party payers. And we would also note that the applications of FSHD analysis have high interest from biotech and pharma, where drugs for rare diseases are being developed, and those protocols often require analysis for FSHD. So this is an important publication and important advancement. We announced that NuProbe Global, which is a molecular diagnostics leader, adopted Sapphire to be integrated into their quantitative amplicon sequencing and blocker displacement amplification technologies for R&D efforts and an effort to improve reproductive health and liquid biopsy. So this is an important adoption for us, and we expect that to drive new applications and utilization. We had the largest presence to date at the annual Cancer Genomics Consortium meeting, which was held in August of this year. It featured 10 presentations by Sapphire customers and Bionano, highlighting the benefits of optical genome mapping for clinical research applications in a variety of areas, importantly, including solid tumor analysis, hematologic malignancies, products of conception, pre- and postnatal constitutional genetics, and others. The attendance at the event was significant, with over 400 participants globally. And in another meeting, our customers presented 11 posters and talks at the European Society of Human Genetics, or ESHG, meeting, which was held in late August. Now, turning to publications, There have been 132 optical genome mapping publications year to date, which includes 30 in Q3. In addition to the samples that our lab has processed in the quarter, those projects put data in the hands of customers that we believe will lead to publications going forward. And I would also emphasize that our Lineagen business had a good quarter for samples received across our suite of assays for pediatric neurodevelopmental disorders. And so revenues for those diagnostic services are included with all service and other revenue in our financial statements. So now I'd like to provide an update on the pivotal studies that are being led by Dr. Alka Chaubey, our Chief Medical Officer. Those studies are being conducted to demonstrate the utility of optical genome mapping as an alternative to traditional cytogenetic methods on a path to have them adopted as part of standard of care. So these studies span 4 major growth markets for us: pre- and postnatal genetic analysis, hematologic malignancies, including leukemias and lymphomas, and solid tumor analysis. Recruitment in these studies is going well. We have important key opinion leaders as principal investigators and study sites across each endpoint. For the postnatal study, which has been the one that was the first to receive IRB approval and underway the longest, we've reached a total of 500 out of 1,000 subjects enrolled, and we have completed analysis of over 100 samples. And in fact, at the recent meeting of the Society of Human Genetics, ASHG, the authors of that study presented a poster describing the performance across those initial 100 samples, and it was very impressive, including 100% concordance, and also identifying incrementally valuable information that can be leveraged to resolve otherwise unsolved cases. For prenatal, the IRB has been obtained and site recruitment and training are in progress, and data generation is will begin this quarter. For the hematologic malignancies programs, we're finalizing contracts with sites and expect IRB approval to begin by the end of the fourth quarter, and the studies to begin in the first quarter of 2022 and the fourth quarter of 2022, respectively. Over the next several years, we believe data to be generated as part of these studies will serve as a basis to support changes in guidelines set by medical societies that will ultimately recommend uses of optical genome mapping as part of the standard of care. So with that update, I would like to turn the call over to Chris Stewart, who is the Chief Financial Officer, for an overview of our financials. Chris?
Thanks, Eric. As Eric mentioned earlier, our revenue for the third quarter of 2021 was $4.7 million, up 21% from $3.9 million in the second quarter and up 112% from $2.2 million in the same period of 2020. The sequential increase was driven by increased demand for Sapphire optical genome mapping solutions, including increased instrument sales and greater demand for our reagent rental program and consumables. Our consumable revenue hit an all-time high of $1.8 million this quarter. The year-over-year increase was driven by both higher product sales and by the addition of revenue from the Lineagen acquisition. Gross margins for the third quarter of 2021 was 24.8%, compared with 37.3% in the prior quarter and 33.4% in the third quarter of 2020. This decrease was primarily due to an increase in some lab-related costs at Lineagen and an increase in OGM warranty-related expense. The majority of these incremental expenses are expected to be non-recurring. Our average selling prices for the Sapphire system and consumables has remained fairly consistent over the course of this year, and our product gross margins were the highest they've been in 5 quarters. Third quarter operating expense was $21.8 million compared to $17.9 million in the second quarter and $11 million in the third quarter of 2020. The sequential increase was primarily due to a $1.8 million increase in headcount and related expenses and a $1.5 million increase in R&D related to supply chain development costs intended to lower future production costs and support higher volumes. We added a total of 37 new hires in the quarter across all parts of the company as we position ourselves to capitalize on the momentum we see in the market. Third quarter operating expense included $2.8 million of non-cash stock-based compensation expense. At September 30th, the company had cash equivalents, and short-term investments of $326.1 million, compared with cash and cash equivalents of $38.4 million in December of 2020. During the third quarter, we raised $13.3 million in cash, net of offering costs from our ATM facility, designed to partially fund the BioDiscovery acquisition. Like many companies, we have faced some challenges with our supply chain. However, our operations team has responded early and proactively, and we do not expect any meaningful impact to revenue this year as a result of these supply chain challenges. Since quarter end, we successfully completed the acquisition of BioDiscovery. We're really excited about this deal and integrating the company, its employees, and technology into Bionano. We're also really pleased with the terms of the deal. As previously disclosed, the transaction consideration was up to $100 million, consisting of approximately $50 million in cash and 40 million in shares of Bionano equity upfront, and a $10 million earnout cash contingent on achieving certain commercial milestones for the software development. Overall, I'm pleased with the progress of the last several months, and I'm really excited about the momentum we are carrying into the end of the year. With that, I will turn the call back to Eric to discuss our milestones before we take your questions. Eric?
Great. Thank you, Chris. We are pleased to have hit a key goal for us in the third quarter, and I've mentioned this already, but I just want to reiterate that we released really important protocols for isolating ultra-high molecular weight DNA from samples that would be typically used for prenatal analysis, and that allows us to expand the menu of capabilities of the Sapphire system and in turn penetrate new markets that were otherwise not open to us before. We believe this achievement brings us one step closer to our broader mission of transforming the way the world sees the genome. And so with that, Michelle, we are ready to take questions.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to ask a question, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. If you are using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Again, press *1 to ask the question. Our first question comes from the line of Jeffrey Cohen with Ladenburg Thalmann. Please proceed with your question.
Hi, this is actually Destiny on for Jeff. How's everyone doing?
Hey, Destiny.
Hi, Destiny. We're great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I just wanted to circle back to Chris's commentary around the supply chain. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and what some of the efforts you're doing now in order to kind of prepare yourself going forward?
What I would say is there are chips in our instruments that have been facing shortages like every other company. What our supply chain did is they went out and found alternative sources for those chips and built an inventory to protect us from the possibility of delays in future shipments. So again, I bring it up because everybody's asking about supply chain shortages. What I want to say is, we're just like everyone else. We're seeing them, but we've worked around them to ensure that they don't impact our ability to deliver Sapphire systems.
I see. Okay, thank you for that clarity. And then turning to a different shortage, I see you've onboarded a ton of really excellent people into your commercial and marketing team. As you build out these teams, are you also recognizing some headwinds in regards to the labor shortages?
Well, yes. I mean, so the company's getting bigger. We've added incredible executive talent, which we summarize, and we put news out about that because we think it's so important to tell everybody about it. The hiring market overall is incredibly competitive, and so when we grow the team, we're out there competing with all sorts of other companies, and what we find is that people really recognize the differentiated story that we have here and the opportunity that's in front of us, and they're energized to join. And that's what's made it possible to get folks over from companies like Illumina and Dexcom and others, PerkinElmer and so forth. And so that's exciting for us, and it's definitely a challenge, but I think the validation that comes with those folks joining means that we have a competitive advantage in the hiring market.
Got it. Okay, that's helpful. And if I could maybe just squeeze one more in here, could you talk to us a bit about any OUS efforts or strategies that you're considering at the moment?
Well, we are active on a global basis, and our slides speak to the fact that we see demand really ramping and increasing across the board. Certainly in North America, we have great progress, and Europe has really been leading the penetration of optical genome mapping for applications in cytogenetic analysis, especially in consolidation of existing workflows. And so we're active there, but China had a very solid third quarter, and we had other notable adoptions, such as one in Australia. And so what we see is a pretty broad-based interest in the capability, and the pace is gated only by whatever kind of local funding is available, or various environments around things like reimbursement and so forth. But the demand is universally strong around the globe, and there are other parts of the globe that we're now eyeing with great interest. And one of them that I would mention is India. And so I would expect you should expect to hear us talking more about India in subsequent calls.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I'll jump back in queue.
Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Our next question comes from the line of Kevin DeGeeter with Oppenheimer. Please proceed with your question.
Hey guys, a few from us. Really nice growth on consumables. Could you speak to the distribution of growth? Are you seeing most of the consumable growth from the research and translational side of the business, or the more clinical side of the business? And I guess what I'm ultimately interested in is better understanding the behavior of some of your top customers, and kind of what type of consumable pull through kind of per install at a good customer or a highly mature customer looks like these days, and kind of is that evolving over time?
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate the acknowledgement, and we're also excited to see the progress there. And let me take a shot at addressing your question, and if there's some gaps, Chris might be able to fill them in, and you just let us know. But when you talk about the distribution across applications areas, discovery and translational versus the clinical research side, I would say that the needle, if you look at the global distribution, is definitely pointed more towards the clinical research side. And I would say it's probably 65% clinical research, 35% discovery and translational. And then within that clinical research segment, the applications are mostly around genetic diseases, and the portion that is focused on hematologic malignancies and solid tumors is increasing. We don't see a strong distinction there because they end up being, meaning the 65-35, because they end up being, pretty similar sites and labs. And, whether you're running a steady supply of samples coming in for analysis based on, an order from a physician, or whether they're running samples for a clinical trial or a large research study, they all tend to be comparable in volumes. And so when we go back and we ask ourselves, okay, what's the average, the average pull-through you can calculate, right? You have the install base, it was 141, you have the consumables revenues, that's in the queue. And so given that you know that, that's why you've asked me to tell you what's the sort of like significant pull-through representative group. And what I would say, the way I would answer the question is that, a significant fraction, 65-70% of adoption is through the reagent rental vehicle for us. And just to remind you that standard contract is $132,000 of overall consumables revenue, chips, reagents, and everything on an annualized basis. So, if we think that 65 or so % of the systems that are going out in the last couple of quarters are representative of that pull-through, I think that's how I would kind of start to vector toward, that higher end pull-through number. And there are sites that exceed that, right? You have sites that go beyond that and their ordering exceeds that, but, so far we're kind of adhering to that contracted volume, which is probably why we picked it in the first place. It's a good number, and it fits the labs that are adopting the technology.
No, that's super helpful, and appreciate the update on the next generation optical genome mapping platform, and the goal of having a prototype by the end of the year. What is a reasonable expectation for us in terms of, when we may learn more about some of the performance profile? Is it something as early as potentially GBT next year, or should we? It's just sort of how do you frame expectations as to, when you'll be ready to communicate more broadly some of the performance improvements that hopefully you've been able to.
Well, yeah. No, good question and fair question. And so, we're excited about the progress, and here in the company on site, which you have visited, but we didn't let you peek in those rooms when you came through. We see the various components operating, and so we're excited about the progress that we're making there. And we will hit that goal of putting the prototypes together this quarter, and we feel confident about that. With regard to detailed metrics, I think we're going to have to get a few more quarters behind us before we really start to zero in on them. However, we have communicated that there will be a series of step-ups in pull-through. So if we look at a kind of control sample, that we collect data on just at 30x depth, which is not always the depth of coverage that a site may use for one application or another, but it's a good baseline for us to make comparisons with. The Sapphire system will process 96 samples in 7 days. And we assume that the Sapphire system is running 24/7 during that period and so forth, but 30x depth of coverage will give you 96 samples. And a next generation system will, and that equates to about 5,000 samples per year. The next generation system per instrument will go up to about 14,000 samples per year. So, that's a little bit shy of a threefold increase in throughput overall. And you may remember that we're going to roll that system out in two steps. So the first step would be the single instrument module, 14,000 samples per year. And then there will be a capability of clustering up to four of those instruments together in a robotic system that will operate continuously. And so, 4 times 14,000, is going to get those numbers up even more. And so, we're kind of sticking to that as our projected performance and throughput of the system compared to Sapphire. We see no reason to back off of that or upsize that at all. But as you well know, we'll get a little bit better information after we have the fully assembled prototypes and get closer to beta systems, which is going to happen next year.
And then just lastly from us, with regard to placements, I guess, the guidance is there's still more than 150, at year end, we're at 141 at the end of September, plus some that are currently shipped that aren't installed. I mean, I guess really sort of two questions. How do we think about, that kind of more than 150 as a guidance number? And then, maybe on a little bit more granularity, what are you seeing in terms of the current quarter? Any disruptions at your customers, related to COVID or other factors, or do you see sort of, perhaps a more normalized environment to operate with regard to, converting shipments into installations?
Yeah. So I mean, what I want to say is just sort of keep it, safe here, so to speak, is that, we're very confident in the 150. And I mean, I think that should be, I think that should be apparent, but we're very confident in the 150. We probably have enough systems, shipped into the field that if we install the ones that are waiting, we would actually get above that. But the limitations on that, and then we're going to ship additional ones this quarter. So, there's sort of backlog in the field to exceed that. But, the constraints that we face are kind of twofold, right? It's people, to go out and install them and get that done. And we're adding those people, over time here. But then, we run into, various factors, always in the fourth quarter, holidays, different site closures. I'm not going to say that COVID is currently a serious impediment. It's always something that we've got to pay attention to. But I think we've reached, a normalized state there. I guess the new normal that people have been thinking that we would get to. We're probably pretty close to that range right now. It's very different from what the world was like, in this time in 2019, for example. But I don't think we feel like COVID is anything more than a potential disruptor. And if things stay the way they are now, we're normalized. So we're confident about the 150. There's probably some upside there, but let's just stick with the 150 for now.
Thanks for taking our questions.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kevin.
We have reached the end of our question and answer session. I'd like to turn the call back over to Mr. Holmlin for any closing remarks.
Great, thank you. So I just want to thank everybody for joining and following along. We certainly look forward to our fourth quarter call, and that will give us a chance to update you on the progress we continue to make in these key strategic pillars, which are to grow the install base and expand the utility of optical genome mapping while we drive the validation of its utility and value in all of the variety of markets where optical genome mapping is seeing uptake. And with that, I will close the call and say thank you very much.
Thank you. This concludes today's teleconference. You may disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you for your participation and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, BNGO. Oh my God, guys, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I have something I would like to share with you guys. So we have this page right. Some of you guys are asking me about the EPS and in per share. You guys have to understand that. I mean, we have a targeted installed base of 150 Sapphire devices. Okay, and according to the CEO, you heard him, okay? He said potentially a 50% increase over year end 2020. So if they have managed to install 141 Sapphire devices till the end of third quarter, you guys know that we are going to smash 150. Okay, they installed 21 Sapphire devices in the third quarter. I mean, I can easily see a future whereby Bionano Genomics is going to be installing 50 Sapphire devices, 100 Sapphire devices, and so on and so forth. So, guys, I mean, we are just at the beginning. So, what else can I share with you guys in this? So, I'm going to go through all these documents once again, and I'll try to put a video together for you guys. Share my own opinion about the earnings and so on and so forth. So that other people can also see, because right now most of my subscribers are not really online. So I think it would be nice to just record a video about my opinion about the earnings and share more information with you guys, in the next 30 minutes or so. Hopefully I'll be, as fast as possible. So if you have any question, please drop it. And thank you guys for, coming on and joining me on this live stream. Thank you so much. Of course, I paid money to, join to live stream this event. It's not really free for me. You have to pay for the software and so on and so forth. So thank you so much, everybody. You are awesome. Bionano Genomics, they smashed the earnings, okay? I mean, everything is coming together for this amazing company. Every day, I am posting video about this company. We employed more talent. You guys can see right here. We installed 24 Sapphire devices in the this is the Q3 2000 and something. 24 Sapphire devices, 141 total installed third quarter. 11 presentations on OGM, 10 talks and posters, 30 new publications in Q3, and so on and so forth. And we brought in this amazing, talent. Some of them are from Illumina, some of them are from Pekin Helmers. These people right here, in my opinion, I think the deal they made with Bionano Genomics is you are going to install 50 Sapphires. I can easily imagine these new employees, helping Bionano Genomics to install, like a promise, like if you employ me, I'm going to install 100 Sapphires for you or 500 Sapphires for you, something like that. So, because, these are all great people. And of course, they have strong record of, helping a company to grow. Okay. So, strategic product manager Alex M, for example, he has a very strong record. So that is about that page. And of course we have Dr. Shams, okay, our chief informatics officer. He came in. He's the leader of biodiscovery, and since we acquired biodiscovery, Bionano Genomics has increased the capabilities of the Sapphire device. I mean, I expect this to keep going on. Okay, I expect Bionano Genomics every quarter to keep announcing that they have unlocked the Sapphire device to be able to, sequence a DNA, for example, because we used to be 100% about optical genome mapping, but right now we just unlocked absence of heterozygosity. Okay, I mean, this is something that only sequencing devices could do before. Right now the Sapphire device is able to do it. Okay, those are one of the things that I expect the acquisition of biodiscovery to keep helping Bionano Genomics to do. As time goes on, we are going to keep unlocking new capabilities for the Sapphire device, and before you know it, Bionano Genomics is going to become a sequencing company. Okay, I mean, Pack BO, we are coming for your dinner. And Illumina, is helping Bionano Genomics strategically. I already made a video, like I think 5 months ago, that I believe Illumina is working strategically with Bionano Genomics. You can imagine we have some of our newest employees. They are also from Illumina. Okay, I believe Illumina is somehow working with BNGO to take over. Illumina wants to be the leader in sequencing, and they want to make sure they are as close as possible to Bionano Genomics, so that Bionano Genomics is not going to, later, I don't know, in the next 5 years or so, if they get bigger, they are not going to ruin their business. So I think they are working together, strategically. And what else can we see? Acquisition of biodiscovery and so on and so forth. And also Bionano Genomics. Before I let you guys go, Bionano Genomics, the CEO spoke about the government grants. He spoke about how they hope that locally, for example, the government is going to help by I think I still have to figure this out. I think the government somehow, like these things, for example, Who Science Council Workshop Series, accelerating access to genomic technologies for global health. Okay, something like this, we need all these private body, public bodies to be investing in genomics, and hopefully they are going to recognize that Bionano Genomics is one of the revolutionary technology out there that needs investment as well, because it's all about cancer, guys. I mean, I lost somebody this year to cancer, okay, and this is a horrible disease. That is one of the reasons why I am super crazy about Bionano Genomics and trying my best to come online every day to make sure this company is successful. Because if this company is successful, we can finally help researchers to figure out what is causing rare genetic disease, hematological malignancies, cancer, and so on and so forth. And if they understand this, then they can finally find some therapy, some cure for whatever to help us to solve this cancer illness. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why I go crazy on BNGO on a daily basis. And hopefully, we have bodies like World Health Organization. Hopefully they are going to be investing, and they are going to recognize that by not only C19, okay, they are going to recognize that there is a company out there, BNGO, trying to replace all this old school method of analyzing genomes for structural variations or chromosomal abnormalities. Then they can at least try to figure out how they can help Bionano Genomics locally by helping their local research community, for example, or clinics to afford the Sapphire device, which costs at the moment about $150,000 per device. So hopefully this is going to help. And also I have another news. Look at this, guys. This is another news again. The British Treasury allocates £5 billion to fund health research and development. So this is something that I believe the CEO of Bionano Genomics was kind of talking about, that they believe the adoption is there, but they also want to see some local improvement. Okay, and that of course has to do with the local government. Okay, the government have to invest in this kind of things. For example, £5 billion to fund health research and development. So you guys know that Bionano Genomics is being used for research purpose. According to them, they said they are being used for research purpose. But of course, we have a lot of hospitals and clinics out there that are using the Sapphire device, not just for research purpose, but also for diagnostic purpose as well. So I think that is all. If you guys have any question before I go crazy right here, because I am super pumped. I love what I am seeing today so far. I mean, thank you so much, Jamel. Guys, please join the channel if you can. It costs about 99 cents per month. It's going to help me to come here every day. Right now, it is 10:30 p.m. in Germany. I have to sleep before 12 o'clock because I must wake up 4 o'clock to go to work. So every day I get if I'm lucky, I get 5 hours sleep. If I am lucky, maximum I'm getting 4 hours, 4.5 hours sleep, because I have to make video before I go to bed every day to let you guys know what is going on with the company. So please consider joining the channel. It costs about 99 cents, every month. And of course, thank you. If you cannot afford it, thank you for always coming in to watch my video. You are super, super appreciated. Thank you so much, guys. So this is where we are going to end this live stream. Thank you once again. I love you guys. I bought the dip. Woo! Bye bye. Ciao.